Heidi ho, quarantine campers. How are you, my divine twin flame beacons of light, the kings and the queens of tomorrow's heaven on earth? Yep, twin flames are here to create a heaven on earth, a true paradigm shift, and create a new paradise. Basically, raise the global frequency, the vibrational frequency of our planet. And so funny, back in 2003, I was sort of struck by destiny when I was asking God, I'm not happy with this job, 9 to 5 job that makes me a lot of money, but, I didn't feel like I was utilizing all of my passions and skills. So I said, show me how to serve. And I got this random opportunity to write a TV show, and all of these crazy synchronicities and signs occurred, which were saying, go to LA, go to LA. But my point, back then I had this vision around creating this TV show. I basically saw all these different ways that this, what I call evolutionary series, was going to raise the vibrational frequency by raising our individual consciousness, our soul consciousness, our awareness of our true self, and also our awareness of society. I do have a psychology background. Social psychology was a big deal. I'm published in psychology journals when it comes to natural disasters. So I do want to touch base with you guys and see how you're doing with the corona situation. Number one, realize that if you're tired, it's okay to relax and, not write that big novel right now. Of course, we can definitely get creative. Some of us have this low-level anxiety that we can transmute into creativity, but others of us are so focused on our survival. If you look at the Maslow's hierarchy of needs, that first, that of the triangle, the first block, the foundational block, is really about your survival. Same thing with the chakras, your root chakra. So if you're worried about money and food and laundry and taking care of kids, you're probably more in that survival mode. So give yourself a break if you haven't gotten to the creative mode or the diving into your true self mode. I'm in a self-development group class with one of my friends who I sort of inspired to be in this transformational business, which is kind of cool. She did an incredible guided meditation the other day. So if you guys are looking for support in those areas, I really have a ton of resources. Guided meditations, 10-20 minute amazing workouts, Hertz music, like Solfeggio music. You can go to YouTube and find those. Most of you probably know about that already. But give yourself a break one day at a time and realize that even though we might feel kind of calm, there's a collective consciousness and a collective energy that's all integrated. And when I got struck by this destiny back in 2003, I saw that. I saw how connected all of us really were. And for all of us to be, our whole planet to be healthy and harmonious, we really need to tap into our true self and get on our own purpose track. So that's why I dove into self-discovery and purpose, tools and resources. And I know a lot of people talk about it, but I've really never seen anybody have the tools and resources that I have. And in the past, I've done a lot of business coaching and things like that, because it just seems like a lot of people don't care about purpose, or they think they're on it. They don't really understand that they need to go deeper into themselves to really understand what those core wounds are. That one wound is really blocking their highest success or blocking their love from coming in. So there's always deeper levels to go. If we were already evolved, in my opinion, and this is from God, nobody else, we would be dead. We are here to evolve to our highest potentials, and we keep getting different chances, and we keep sort of going. It's like, let me see if I can do this, an evolutionary spiral like this, right? So we keep going around that spiral, and we're pushed through it at faster rates. It's like we go slow, and then we're launched, and then we're launched again, but there's always deeper levels to go. And we do change 5, 10 years, so if you've done like a forgiveness exercise 10 years ago, maybe you need to do another one for all the people that you need to forgive in the past 10 years, right? So there's so much we can be doing right now, but my main point is, if you're feeling tired or just kind of exhausted, it's that low level collective vibe of fear. And yesterday, Thursday, the 9th, if you felt overwhelmed or started getting emotional and you're like, whoa, where is this coming from? I tapped into something that was super collective. People are getting really antsy and stir crazy and angry and frustrated and scared they're not going to get their $1,200. And I feel it so much. So it's really important to protect your energy right now. You can't say yes to every single thing. I call it quarantine campers, because it was like, as soon as this was announced, we're all on spring break and we all have spring break camp or quarantine camp, and we've got, Zooms and conference calls and karaoke Zooms and, all these different workouts and sound baths and all of these things we're trying to do. And it's amazing if you're supporting your friends, because a lot of people are leveling up right now and taking advantage of this time to go online and live. I'm taking advantage of learning YouTube and the channel and sharing my wisdom and understanding with you guys. Again, I am a twin flame, met mine in 2012. We are technically in separation. It's a long story. I can get into it later, but we're still more connected than ever. And, I can tell you 100% this is not, I'm hung up on a guy, okay? I've tried to walk away from this so many times, but we kept running into each other again. We kept being brought together. I kept seeing the signs and synchronicities, and I mean being hit over the head with them. You don't expect them. It comes out of nowhere. You're doing the dishes and boom. Or, you're thinking about tweeting something and then you open up Twitter and they just tweeted it. We are so incredibly telepathic. There's so many examples I can explain. Maybe I'll do a video to explain some of them so that you guys understand what real signs and synchronicities are. To me, they are not 111, 222. Those are divine syncs, which is like your guides and your angels and God saying, hey, yeah, no, you're right on track. Like sync, sync, wink, wink. You're right on track with what you're thinking. Hey, what you were just thinking, that's what you need to be doing, or that's what you need to say to him or her. But those don't necessarily mean you're a twin flame. That to me means you are a divine being. And I think you can be a light worker and receive those. And twin flames, it goes way, way deeper. Like I explained in my last video, you can go and look at past couple days, the first big reading I did. It was like an hour and 22 minutes. 22 means highest love and highest creativity, according to Doreen Virtue. And I totally believe that, always have. And so when I see 222, that's what it means for me, but it could mean something else for you. I feel like what you're guided to is what is for you. Okay. So I've had my own number, understanding and meaning since I was a kid. And then when I saw Doreen Virtues, it was so right on. It was like, whoa, we're definitely getting this stuff from the same place. Same thing happened with Dr. Dyer. When I was writing this TV series, my first treatment talked about a force that beats our hearts and blossoms the roses and holds the planets around the sun. And then Dr. Dyer, my DVR just happens to blow out and I'm forced to channel surf, and I happen to end on the PBS special where he was saying basically the same thing, almost word for word, about source energy. And I'd never seen that before. It couldn't have been in my subconscious. So we were tapping into the same core collective consciousness that is the divine source, okay? And I know there's a God. Whether it looks like a man in the sky or aliens or just energy, there is a source that is all-knowing. And I, was raised Christian, and I'm more kind of universal spiritualist now because I do see common threads through all the ancient wisdom and, from Buddhism to Hinduism. And I do not think that any particular religion is right and the others are wrong, where some go to heaven, but other believers go to hell. That's not what I believe. To me, just to kind of clarify it, I see myself as a Christian who has a universal view of spirituality. So Christians might say, no way you're a Christian, you wouldn't have a universal view. I think you can believe in Jesus and love certain aspects of the Bible and all that, but still see value in all of the other doctrines, as well as, the New Age teachers and stuff. I don't think that New Age teachers are all of Lucifer and all that. I mean, there's so many different theories, so many different beliefs, but, as a medium, having seen faces and talked to clients and understood that I'm seeing who I am, and, shaking, going, hey, who do you know that was shaking that might be on the other side? Oh, my daughter passed over. She had cerebral palsy. She used to shake all the time. Well, what's the deal with the bluebird? And she's like, oh my God, there's a bluebird that comes to the kitchen window every day. I would not be getting those confirmations and channeling these entities and specific names and faces, and if something wasn't given that to me. And I do believe that is divine, and it's a gift. It's a divine gift. It's not of dark forces. So if anyone who's Christian says, oh, cards can be dark, I mean, I think if you're gauging how you live your life, how you make your choices based on one card or one reader, then it could throw you off. I had a reader through something called Ask Now years and years ago who sent me on a route that made sense in her brain, I think, with what I was trying to do, but I think it was the wrong route for me, and it's kind of kept me not serving at my highest degree because I was listening to her too much. So please, with any reader, you want to take it with a grain of salt. With these collective card readings, of course you want to take it with a grain of salt and really just listen to your body and understand what's resonating with you. I could get to card number 9 here and you go, oh my gosh, that's the one thing I needed to hear. So please don't do anything that one reader tells you, even if it's me. And I know I'm extremely accurate. And I'm also very careful because I don't want to, part of me really fought doing this work for a while because I did not want to happen to make a mistake and lead somebody with my head and not. That's why I use a pendulum. I know I've talked about this before, but I check everything I'm about to tell you to do and everything with this. Card readings, I just flow, and I know I'm good at that. It's all divine flow. But let's say you go, here's my question, yes or no, should I reach out to my twin this week or not? And I say, I'm getting a no, and then I might ask it a couple different ways just to make sure, right? Or pull a card and it looks like a yes, but I'm going to take this and check because I don't want you taking an action or making a change with your life or whatever unless I'm checking it straight direct through my guides. I want to leave no room for error or misunderstanding. So if you've been thinking about getting a reading with somebody, I'm your girl. I really wish that I had myself, who's not only an intuitive medium and double checks everything and uses all sorts of different tools and resources to make sure we get to the facts in the truth, but also is grounded in business and business resources and can help me build my business. And I have the hardest time stepping out of myself and my own emotions and feelings and blocks like visibility. Hey, I'm not even going on camera yet. And things like that to coach myself. I am incredible when it comes to coaching others, and I have literally taken companies from zero to hero, made people millions of dollars based on like one session with me. I'm really, really good at what I do. And right now I'm offering sessions at super, super inexpensive prices. Noah, well, you know what? I believe in energy exchange, and I made a deal with God and Spirit. I said, don't let me medium and do things unless it's like life or death, if I'm running into people, and, make sure I'm getting paid because it does take a lot out of me. So I've lowered my prices so that you guys can get an experience and get your answers, right? The best thing to do is a phone reading, because we cover cards and pendulum questions, yes, no questions, and we can really, really get specific and navigate exactly what we need so that you can move forward. I've gotten some of these readers online here on YouTube, and they do a reading, but I'm like, I'm more confused than when I went in. You know, they're not answering like, should I reach out, or is he just on another plane right now? Like, they're not answering the questions. They're just kind of doing a reading, which kind of feels general, even though it's specific, but it's kind of all over the place. So if you really want to get specific, I would recommend doing something with the pendulum questions. You can look below at some of my offerings. You know, if you don't have hardly any money, for $11.11, I'm doing 3 cards, which we can do a past, present, future, or we can do a general, basically like where you guys are at card, and then an advice and an outcome if you take that advice. There's several different ways I can do it. But what I want to do is try to get more likes, subscribes, and I'm not going to like go on and on about this. We're just doing a few things. I'm about to get into the reading. I really find a lot of value to people who just get right into the reading and the concept stuff. But I need to get likes and subscribes and comments so that more people will see me. I find a lot of value to a lot of people here, but there's also people who have hundreds of thousands of followers, or at least multiple tens of thousands. And I don't think they're a real twin flame, just my intuition. Or I don't think they're an actual psychic. They might be good at reading cards and doing these readings, but I don't think they're the right person to go to for advice. I'm a trained life coach, graduated at the top of my class in psychology, you know, with honors, everything else. Like, I have had a lot of experience. Been doing this about 15 years, working with individuals and companies. I don't like to brag. I could go on and on, but you know, I mean, there's a TV show that won a what was it? People's Golden Globe, best new documentary series or whatever, that just changed in the world. And I'm the one who told her she needed to do that. Like, it would not be a series if this girl did not go forth and find a way to make it happen. I told her to do it. I gave her that courage. So, you know, I've done some stuff, but let's not talk about me. But here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to, if you comment each week, even if I have 2 videos or 3 or 4 that I upload, I'm going to try to do as much as I can, because I really do enjoy this and I know it helps you guys. So, especially now when it feels so uncertain, and I don't know about you, but my twin and I have felt really far apart during this. Now I feel like we're back together though. And I think that starting the channel helped. And I did a meditation the other day and saw him in the past life come together with me out of nowhere. It just happened. And I really do think our hearts broke open and we like came into another layer of union, and it feels like we're super telepathic right now, which is really cool. This is the most incredible journey ever, but it's not a walk in the park. And I really want you guys to understand the twin flame concept. You know, what I was saying about other readers is not to hate on any of them, because I do find that twin flames are so freaking gifted. These readers are magical, and there's a lot of value you gain even if you're not paying attention to the reading. So it's a high vibe space for you to go to if you're feeling low vibe. But you know, I went to one reader, I was telling you this last time, who was not a twin flame, and I didn't realize that. She said, she goes, well, when's the last time you heard from him? And I was like, well, you know, we haven't even texted in a while, that this happened and this synchronicity, and then I ran into him at the beach. And she's like, well, you know, if he's not texting you, from my experience, he's just not that into you. And I'm like, I cannot believe I just paid you $60. And I think she was like 40 or 50. And I was like, you know what? I'm going to give you 60. I like to give people extra because I'm like, I know the more I give, the more I'm going to get out of this. Not that time. What I got out of that is I don't even want to watch her readings, because she literally is coming from a traditional male, female, or male, it doesn't matter the sexes, but masculine, feminine energy relationship, love relationship understanding. Like that book, he's just not that into you. That's not true. I've met so many men who say the women they really, really like, they're so intimidated by. There's that kind of guy. There's also the guy who's not ready. When I met my twin, he was like a superstar, and he could get any girl, any model in the world. And we hooked up and had a magical time. And it was like we knew we were soulmates from the get-go. But timing and everything, we just kind of went different directions. And it was like we were separated because he was not ready and I was not ready. We had certain things to learn and to grow on our own, blocks and habits and things to clear out. He needed to clear out of being a player. I mean, it's kind of crazy. He slept with a lot of people in Hollywood who I don't really care. I would have cared back in the day when I didn't know he's my twin, but you can't get away from this, It's literally like when I tried to get away from it, I was stalked and haunted by the ghost of him past. I was stalked and haunted by God and our angels. I mean, our angels literally were always trying to get us together. And it felt like I was being haunted by it. And it still kind of does. I mean, these signs still happen. We'll go apart for a while, and then boom, signs that are just freaking incredible. I also produced movies, and I got a movie on my desk with Whoopi Goldberg in it, really cool. And I was like, this is really interesting. Let me put it on my screen to remember it for later. And so I screenshot it, put it on my desktop, on my computer, open up Instagram, and he posted a meme with Whoopi Goldberg for like Women's Day or something, right? So that's the kind of synchronicities that would happen weekly, if not daily. I was like taking pictures of my crazy curly hair in the middle and thinking I'd post it on Instagram, like wild hair. And I'm like, what the heck am I doing? I'm not going to post my crazy hair on freaking Instagram. And then, that evening I open up Instagram and there's him with like this playing cards with his friends with this wild crazy hair, and I just laughed. And then it hit me, oh my God, I was on my hair that day too. I was like, I gotta get a haircut. This is crazy. I'm like losing my mind. I gotta get a haircut. And then he post a picture with him getting his haircut. It's like, we're right on the same thing. So we're mirroring each other in the twin flame community. It's called mirroring. We mirror each other. And funny enough, I'm going to tell you this. I did a meditation the other night, and all of a sudden he pops in when she brought the light into our hearts. And I send the light out to him, and then I felt it welling up within me, and I was like, whoa, that's interesting. So it was like me sending him love in a guided meditative way. I was feeling it. And I'm like, holy shiz, wow, we really are like the same soul. We feel each other. I also at one point was on the phone with my friend. I started having a panic attack out of nowhere. I was just like casually talking to my friend, and then I went to Twitter and his friend just died. I think he was having a panic attack and emotional, and I was feeling him. So don't doubt this, okay? If you're getting the signs, if you feel like you can feel their energy, you're probably twins. Now, I don't believe that all twins will necessarily come into union, because there is something called free will, but I do think that majority of them, they are supposed to be in union and live their mission. They can live their mission at a higher level, at the highest level, together instead of apart. I mean, before I even knew about twin flames, I was like, what is going on with him? And I kept hearing better together. And I was the kind of girl who was never really hung up on guys. I was just not into guys. I was mission crazy. I had a TV show to sell. I was mission crazy. So when I met him, I didn't expect to be like, whoa, it's a crazy. I'll have to tell you that later. Let's get into the reading, okay? But what I'm going to do is take every month. Let's do every month right now. People who comment, people that you have to like and comment and subscribe, okay? And I'm going to take one person, I'm going to put you all the comments, all the people who comment into like a hat and pull, just like I would pull cards. And that's going to be the winner. And you're going to get a free 33 reading, which is, I think, 3 cards, 3 questions, or maybe it's 5 questions. Look below. I forgot what I did. But we'll do pendulum questions and cards so I can really help you, okay? And I'm going to do that. You know what? I'll even do it on the phone, not even a voice recorder, on the phone, so I can make sure you get something out of it, because I know if you're getting stuff out of it, you're going to tell your friends to follow me and, support me. And with YouTube, you just need that support to grow. And I want to grow, not so that I can tell everybody I have followers. To be honest with you, I'm kind of keeping this a secret with most of my people, except for the ones who I know understand the twin flame concept, because my friends who don't understand it are going to think I'm probably crazy because they don't get it. They don't get twin flames. It's really hard to understand the twin flame dynamics if you don't get it. But the twins, if they go off separately, they can meet more people and make more headway on their missions and stuff than if they were together trying to heal everything together. They've got to get to a certain point where they can come together and be at that same vibrational frequency. So I think that I'm on the edge of coming into contact with mine and us making things work. I feel like we're going to come in right after coronavirus is over. Just been feeling like, and I got in the last reading, that it is about them tapping in and really recognizing now that they can't have us, and we've kind of gone off and done our own thing a bit. So we've taken the energy away, so it's kind of balanced the energies, because before it felt like you were right on his ass, excuse me, sorry YouTube, right on his tail, and I think he was feeling a little burden, but now he's like, wait, where is she? I'm in love with her. I can't believe I couldn't really admit it to myself, or like, why didn't I have the courage to move forward when I had a chance? And she had texted me in February, So I really do think that I'm reading for people who are close to coming into union. I think majority of the people I'm reading for aren't really dealing with the karmics. I think that's the case. I'm holding my pendulum here. It's like, yes. Is there anyone listening who there is still a karmic? I honestly just feel like majority of the people listening to me, their karmics have cleared out. And if by chance he still has somebody like living there, or you think that there's still something going on, there's no real emotion there. I don't see any real bond there. It's going to break up after Corona if it's happening, but majority of them, that's already cleared out. So that's fantastic. Some of the hardest things I've been through is when he was with a karmic, and I could see, and God showed me she was the wrong person. She didn't love him. She was using him. And I think he was giving her everything that he wanted to give somebody, like, even working with her and doing, basically just dove into that when he should have been diving into it with me. And so I'm saying this not to talk about myself, but just to give you an example of, these things happen because that karmic needed to be there for him to wake up and go, oh yeah, no, I don't want those kind of girls. Those are the girls I usually go for, and those are the ones who usually hurt me. Maybe she cheated on him. Maybe she's controlling. Maybe he needed to realize, oh, I'm going for those controlling girls because my mom is controlling. I want somebody who's more equal balance with me. So everybody's different. Obviously, we can cover that on a call or in a voice recorded read. Now, I might change my ways, but right now I'm doing, I'm just pulling ahead of time to try to save time, because I want to focus on speaking to you about the important pieces and the reading, instead of just like having dead air. Being a producer, you don't like dead air, right? Of shuffling, and also, even if I pre-shuffle, if I did the pulls. A friend of mine today, though, when I talked to her, she said, I really like seeing the pulls. So it might take a little more editing, but maybe I'll pull the card so you can see me do that and speed that up so it'll be faster. There's no point in having a lot of dead time. Like I said, I don't have time. God orchestrates it way better than I could. I don't know what to tell you. You know what I mean? Like, this is real. This is what I pulled. Now, it was yesterday that I pulled it, but I get that the energies are still about the same. And it's right on, and it's what we need to do, and I'm going to upload it today. I'm uploading like from my iPad and it's taking forever, and I apologize. Okay, so this is the read I'm going to deal with right now, and I might include some different ones, but I really like this. We start with the DM, how he relates to feminine, how he sees the feminine, what he wants from her, what's blocking him, the advice he's receiving, and then sort of the destiny, the truth, what God wants, what the connection really is, the core of it is the middle. And then we have the same for the divine feminine, okay? So one at a time. Last time it was like an hour and 22 minutes, and I had 3 cards per question, okay, 3 decks. Right now I'm just using Colette Baron Reed's Wisdom of the Oracle deck. I do enjoy this deck. I've been working with it for a while. Please don't judge my terrible corona nails. It was like they're grown out, and I need to fix them after this reading. I'm so sorry, dude. So sorry. Okay. So, real quick, I do want to say for anyone who's just tuning in because they're like, I need to figure out what God is leading me to. Like, should I reach out or not? I pulled one of the most amazing cards in this deck yesterday to that question, or 2 days ago. And when I asked again, this is what I pulled. And it's probably one of the best cards in this deck. It's Dorian Virtue's Fairies. And look at this. Happily ever freaking after. I love this. I mean, I just love this card. Isn't it beautiful? Oh my God, that's our future, you guys. Do it. Go for it. You know what I mean? Don't send him a book. Like I have in the past. That's another thing I'm really great at. Maybe I'll figure out what it's going to cost. Maybe like a $20 or something, where like if you want to send a text and you don't have anybody to talk to about this, or you just have friends who don't understand the twin dynamic or aren't good at this, you can send me the text, just a little brief of what's going on. I don't need much because I do work with spirit. So I'll run the pendulum on if your text is perfect, or what I normally do when I help my friends and clients with this, they want to send a text just to check in, or I get that it's good because he's like feeling lost. And so the text from Kirsten's going to feel like, just give him the confidence to feel like, oh, she really does care. Like I feel safe to reach out to her, you know, I feel like she's forgiving me, you know? So, you know, she might have something she wants to say, and then I'll sort of channel some things that are a little funny and witty, and, you know, just, or we break it down and make it super simple because I'm getting that he needs it to be simple now. So I'm very, very good at that, I feel. So let's say 2222 will get you 2 pendulum questions, because I'm going to be running a couple questions with the whole text thing, but it's like an emergency text little read there. So advice and help for a text read. Okay. All right. I might not put that down below, but just email me if you're interested in my services, and let me know what you want. You guys, I'm still trying to figure this out. So, you know, please express if you're like, oh, I would really love it if you just like pull cards as you go, you know, instead of pre-pull them. Like, then maybe I can do that. I just really want to not waste a lot of time, because I don't just pull. I feel, and I have to keep feeling until I know which one's coming. Okay. So it's a little bit of a process. All right. And you know, I always got storage issues. Who doesn't, right? Freaking iCloud. What are they doing to us? All right. So first card, I have not seen these cards. I pulled the cards. Okay. Divine masculine now. Oh, that's so funny. Co-create. So he's creating right now. He's focused on creating. I do think that I see a guitar, I see a piano, I see writing, like a journal writing. Maybe you guys have writers. I know mine's like an actor, but I'm seeing he's also a musician. I'm seeing more like music. And I think that they're using this time to get creative and to really explore their creativity. I also get that he's thinking about getting creative with you, that he's been kind of resisting that in the past, but like he's like noticing now. It's like the blinders came off, and he's like, oh my gosh, this girl has so much potential. Or guy, you know, there's the divine masculine for the divine feminine, but he's like, the divine feminine is like a badass. You know, the divine feminine can do anything she puts her mind to. oh my God, I didn't know she even had a good voice. And, so I think he's actually focused on what they can co-create together. Like, when I get out of here, here's what we're going to do, which is amazing, because if you don't ask those questions about what you want in the future, it's not going to manifest. Okay. So you've got to kind of envision and think. And anyway, I think this is great. So he's not sad in sad energy. He's in co-creative energy. Fantastic. Okay. How the DM is relating to the divine feminine. Oh my goodness. So true, right? Time for a nap. So what that means to me is he's just kind of checked out. The way he's appearing doesn't mean he's not thinking of you, because I think he's obsessed. But what he's doing is he's taken a step back during this coronavirus COVID-19 situation. And he's observing, but he's also just taken a step back from online, perhaps. He's going within. He's not relating much to you, because it's like he wants you to think that he's not there. And then he's going to come rushing in. But he's just taking a time out, which is basically what mine's been doing. I'm kind of like, oh, is this still a thing? But now I know. So has y'all been doing that? Has he been checking out a little bit during this corona thing? Don't let it put you in fear, okay? He's still there, okay? Ooh, how DM sees DF. I love it, I love it, I love it. Sorry, I'm shaking. I've had too much coffee. Serendipity, synchronicity, signs. You know what I hear is, you know that meme? It says, you are my 1111. Oh, so it's like he's getting stuff all over that reminds him of you. If your birthday is like May 5th, he's seeing like 5-5 everywhere. Or he wakes up thinking about you. He goes to bed thinking about you. He's just getting signs and synchronicities from TV. Your name is everywhere. Certain things are happening where he's just thinking of you, or he'll go, I think he's looking at you online too. So certain things are happening, then he's going online and you're talking about the same thing. So it's like, what I find in this is that the feminine, the divine feminine energy sees the signs and synchronicities because they're the more spiritual ones. They're already more aligned. So they're more in tune to those signs and synchronicities when they happen. He was tuning into some in the past, but he would just be like, oh yeah, I'm not seeing that. Kind of like in denial. Yeah, whatever. But now it's happened so much where he can't be in denial. He can't deny this anymore. So he's starting to accept it, which is great because we've been waiting for that. What is the DM's block? Wait, is it the block? No. What the DM wants. The green there. Ooh. What the DM wants from the DF. Okay. By the book. This card to me is tradition. It also is like following the rules, following the leader. Wait a second. Does this mean he wants to follow her as the leader? There's a little bit of that. Okay. He wants you to follow the rules of this COVID thing. Is he scared? He's a little scared. He doesn't want to lose you. He's just realized with all this, like, wow, there's a lot going on. What if she went to the grocery store and caught it, and the next thing I hear is that she's gone? Like, he feels like he's abandoned you, and y'all should have been together during this quarantine, and he's late, and he just wants you to follow the rules. Let's go by the book. Also with tradition, so maybe don't do anything that's too out of the box. Like I've thought about sending mine like voice recorded messages, not voice messages, but where you do the recording on your phone and then send that over just to share and get myself expressed. Which you can't really mess it up when you're a twin, but like if I send him like 40 minutes of that, it's going to be too much. So try to keep it simple. Like sending a text that says, let's run away together, or how are you? Is better than like trying to explain all the freaking signs and synchronicities that you're hearing that's going to confuse them, right? So let's try to keep it traditional. I also get a marriage feeling with this. So what he wants from you, is a traditional marriage. Like he wants like a traditional situation. Oh, I also get that he wants to take care of you. He wants to be the stability and security and money, and then you take care of him with like food and spirituality and all of that, and taking care of the kids. Again, not for everybody. Take what resonates. Okay. Oh, DM block. And of course, it's turned upside down, which usually represents a block. This makes so much sense. See, you guys, I can't write this stuff. The divine is amazing. So the DM block to union right now is we're between worlds. See this flamingo with the crown? That's your future. You both are the kings and queens. That's funny. I started the reading with that. You are the twin kings and queens of our future heaven on earth. But where you've been is in this darker space where, maybe he's been sharing his body and getting sexual transmitted demons, STDs. Maybe he's been in a depression. I think I get a feeling like I'm hungover, like he's drinking too much or smoking too much. Like he's been in a not great place. I think he was in a bad relationship that made everything like him depressed and everything seem like it was irreparable. But that is gone. So now he's finally seeing this future. For a while, he wasn't even seeing this, right? He was just seeing the darkness for the longest time. It's like the 5 of Cups where he's looking at those 2 spilt cups, or the 3, but not noticing the 2 full ones right behind him where he could just, have the best life with those 2 full cups. He's not even seeing them. That's where he was. But now he's seeing this. That's huge because he sees where he wants to go. He's just right in the middle. He's not there yet, which makes a ton of sense with the coronavirus. It's like that's got to end for him to make a jump forward. But I do think that he's working on getting up the courage to even make a move while we're in Corona. Because, we just got announced that we're May 15th in LA. To stay at home. So he might be thinking, screw this. I'm going to get on a plane. I'm going to make a move now. Like, I don't want to keep waiting. What if it's June? What if it's July? Like, what can I do now to be prepared for her? And how can I muster up the courage? So each one of you, it's different, but some of you could do things to kind of clear the air or show him that you care about him. And that would be just enough to inspire him and give him the confidence and the courage to come forward. But right now, he's right in the middle. And look, the divine face is right there in the middle too. Look at that. Look at that. So basically the divine's in control of this, right? So what I'm getting though, and I think it's Fiery Grace that talks about this too, and it just came to me, that he is wanting to move here, but it's like the divine's like, nope, you're here still. You're not ready. So there could be something that he needs to do before the divine allows him to move forward, basically. So it's like he really wants to. He knows he needs to and he wants to and that you're the one. But he still hasn't done it because he hasn't gotten that big push or that big sign saying now. But that's because the divine's in control and there is divine timing in so many ways with this relationship. So we have to trust that. Okay, it could be that there's something on me or on you, on us feminines that need to shift and change to be ready for them. Maybe we're not ready. We're not on our mission. So if we're on our mission and we've cleared out everything and our wounds are pretty healed, we're going to come in. But like if we're drinking too much and not realizing it, right? God's not going to let him come in because he's had problems with alcohol and you would be a bad influence. Like there's so many different factors here, but I need you to trust that God is here for you in your divine masculine's relationship, okay? Guiding it the whole way. So I need you to have trust in that, okay? Because if you doubt, it's no good. It'll mess you all up. Okay. New life. So the DM advice he's receiving is, babe, you can have a new life. Like his friends are saying, what do you want? And he's clarified what he wants. And I also get he's getting divine advice that like, oh no, that life that you wanted, it's been here the whole time. You were just choosing something else. It's been here trying to come in. He's like, oh, That's why she won't go away after all these years. Because he's ready for his new life. He's finally really ready for a commitment and for a new life where he doesn't have the same bad habits. He's ready to create new habits, and he just has to find the courage. But it's good that whether it's the outer universe and the people in his life that are encouraging a new life, and it could be the advice he's getting. It's like his job in another city is like, hey, we don't need you anymore. So he's like, oh, it's like exactly what he needed from the universe to get excited about the new life with the feminine, right? So let's have faith, right? That like if it's people around him or situations or even the divine coming to him in dreams or what have you, he's taking all of that as like new life, new life, new life. And all he can do is think about you. I mean, I feel it really strong. All he can do is think about you. Okay, what God wants, destiny, fate, truth, like what is happening with your connection? Like what's the essence of it, the core of it, right? And it is regeneration. God, is that not the best twin flame card you've ever seen? That we were like these perfect little divine seeds that came together, and we could have blossomed, but we weren't ready to blossom. It was like the fertilizer wasn't there. The seeds were not ready to germinate, you know. But now that it's closer to divine timing, it's right around the corner that you two are going to come together. You're coming together. I'm coming together with mine, and we're going to have a regeneration of this relationship, and we're going to do it right. And now we've got such a great foundation because there's been, you know, years or how months for some of you, you know, texts and different things where he knows there's a solid foundation here. He knows you love him. He knows that there's a strong friendship, that you're BFFs at the foundation of it all. But this whole connection is about learning and growing so that you two can regenerate and have that reward at the end. You are his reward. He is your reward for taking the right action steps, for having the courage to speak your truth, for evolving yourselves, and for being on your mission work. You both deserve each other. You're both worthy, but regeneration is the name of the game. And I just love that. It's amazing. Okay. Actually, let me start here. Divine Feminine. Oh, where she's at now. This is so funny, you guys, because we got this with what the masculine wanted from the feminine last reading. He was all like thinking about soulmates, she's my soulmate, like getting all the awakening. And she was just off doing her own thing, rocking and rolling. And then this is weird because like as soon as I focused on doing these readings, like my masculine, like the meditation thing happened and a sign happened, and like it's like we're right back there together. It's like I needed to focus a little bit on him, not be obsessed with it, but just like kind of direct my focus a little bit and be diligent about that connection. And then suddenly, boom, like this is where I am now, is like, yes, we are soulmates. So if you feel like this is your soulmate, I think this is a card that's basically saying, yes, you are correct. You are correct. And I know a lot of people don't like to say whether somebody is a twin or not, but I'm pretty good at figuring that out. There was one situation where Spirit was guiding me to sort of feel like, I knew there was something more to it, but feel like somebody was a twin when they were a false twin. But the message I received is if I said that it was a false twin, she would have broken up with them and there was more for them to learn. So right after it happened, we rechecked everything and it's like her twin. Anyway, so I would say 98% of the time, my readings are all about truth of what's going on. But there is a small degree, I wouldn't say of error, but a degree of the divine is going to tell me and give me the answers that are going to best help you on your path, help you grow on your path with whatever you're dealing with. So they're not going to tell me something. And so sometimes, occasionally there's a question where it's just bouncing up and down, like I need to ask it a different way. Or it's a question where they literally tell me, no, I don't want her to know that answer right now. And I'm like, well, will you tell me the answer? So sometimes like they'll tell me the answer, but they make sure that I don't tell you. So it's rare, but it's all very divine. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. What is this for? It's for divine feminine relates to divine masculine. This is crazy, you guys, because this is exactly what we got last reading for that position. How the divine feminine relates to the divine masculine. So this is interesting. This is the key of this whole reading right now. This is going to help us. This card is all about the round and round. You grow and then you're back to not grow. Like it's the same cycles over and over and over again. It starts to feel like Groundhog Day, kind of like coronavirus. But this is about we, divine feminines, need to break the cycle. Such a beautiful card. God is present, but like we've got some sort of toxic cycle in here, some sort of cycle that's going to keep repeating itself unless we break the cycle. So maybe we have a cycle of texting too much, or maybe we have a cycle of never calling, or oh, you know what my habit is talking about work and other things and not just saying, you know what, I freaking love you. It's so hard for me to express my feelings because he's been doing his thing and not responding, which doesn't mean screw you. It's just he's in his own stuff. He can't really deal. For a long time, he was getting out of a relationship, so I understand why he wasn't texting back. And he was doing the ghosting. The ghosting is one of the hardest things with the twin flame relationship. But when your friends say if he's ghosting you, he's just not that interested, that's not true when it comes to twin flames. It's just not. And, you know, a lot of these twin flame readers, they know plenty of twin flames that have come into union where that was happening until it wasn't. Where you were in separation and ghosting and really weird, awkward energy until, boom, you're not. And so this to me is saying, feminines, we can get out of our same cycles that we've been in with them. It might be that you're just feeling too much victimhood because when he doesn't text you back, you're like, it puts you right back in the lack. All right, I'm going to go back and look at this because I feel like there's something else I need to report here, but we're going to break the cycle. This is what we need to do. That's what I'm getting very clearly. We need to break the cycle for this to come in. It's not even about him. We need to break the cycle. How the divine feminine sees the divine masculine. Okay, great. So this means you're like poised, ready for a new life, like ready to go. He's ready to rock. Like he's not in the doldrums of his own emotions anymore. And yeah, I mean, he's creating, but he's ready to get out of quarantine and shine with his divine feminine and rush off to his new life. So she's seeing him as confident and shining in a way. Even if he's like not so much online, he's still shining and he's not like sad or whatever. And she's seeing him as more ready, and that's great. I think she's probably, correct. Yeah. Yep. He's ready. Okay. Oh, what's this? So what the divine feminine wants from the divine masculine. She wants him to jump into his imagination and dream about their life together instead of just like playing video games and talking to that friend and just dealing with what's right in front of them. I think a lot of these masculines have kind of short attention spans and they have a lot of people who want their energy. So they're also people pleasers, I get, for a lot of them because they're empaths like us, and a lot of empaths grow up as people pleasers, which is like a wounded divine feminine in them. There's a wound in them that makes them really need to have people like them. So when people text them, they have to text back, or, you know, I don't know, this particular masculine, I know mine doesn't text a lot of people back. When he wants his time, he takes it. But at the same time, like if somebody's like, hey dude, let's get together tonight and play that game, he's like, okay. You know, he kind of goes with the flow of what's coming to him versus doing what he really wants and setting boundaries. But at the same time, if he's like, I need to go in, he's going to do that and not return text. So there's a balance, but she wants him to dream, to get imaginative, to envision and visualize their life together, because that's how it's going to manifest. Like, we've been in this old stale energy, and if we keep those cycles, nothing's going to move. She wants him to like really think about their life together and their home together and their kids, and do they have a pool and, you know, an ocean view, or do they live on the lake? Like, she wants him to know what he wants, so that when he comes in, he's like, babe, I want you to come live with me. I'm going to pay for everything. I want to, you know, you to have the kids and take care of the kids. And I don't want you to work, but you can if you want. And like, she wants him to be freaking clear. And I think that's very interesting. Imagine all the people. Sorry, I won't sing too much. What is the block for union for the feminine? Flexibility. So this is telling me she's not being as flexible. So maybe she's coming off rigid, or maybe you're saying like, well, I'm not going to talk to you unless you do this, or since you didn't come by February 14th, Valentine's Day of last February, I'm not gonna, or she's like with me, I keep talking about work, and I'm just getting right now that that's kind of blocking us, because those projects aren't as important. They might be important, but they're not as important as the foundation of trust and friendship and love between us. So if I just approach him from like a love standpoint, or from a friendship standpoint that grows into love, and not be so obsessed with the projects, then maybe he's going to open up. Or, maybe I want to go see him. I have this idea in my head, but he wants to come see me. So if I just let him know that I'm flexible, maybe I could say, hey, let's run away together. Where should we go? Should we go to Cabo? Go to your state, my state? Where should we go? Just kind of let him know that I am flexible and I'm open. I think that's going to be the key. So release your pride and ego in that stubbornness, or those ideas or expectations of what is going to happen and how you see it happening. Forget all that. Forget everything that you've ever seen, and just reach out or express yourself and give it to the gods, and trust that whenever he does come around, you need to be flexible. So you might say, hey, there's this, he might call tonight and say, hey, there's a wedding next month, and I know we can't really go anywhere, but I was thinking maybe I could fly you down here and you could go with me, or yeah, whatever. And you're like, well, there's freaking a, pandemic going on, but okay, let me think about it, and you're flexible. Whereas normally you'd be like, no, hell no, there's a pandemic. But no, right now you need to be flexible. So whatever your knee-jerk reaction would be, think about, especially in the moment, shifting that. I missed a huge, huge opportunity, business opportunity, because I was invited to a big event. And I was like, oh no, but I've already planned to be in Miami for my friend's birthday. And I should have just been like, I should have just canceled that and done this amazing thing that would have like put me on top in a big way. So I went to Miami, and my friends treated me like crap. And it was very clear that I'd made the wrong decision, because I thought I knew better by just being loyal to my friends and my history, instead of being loyal to my true purpose and what's really aligned with me. And that opportunity is much bigger than any of that history. You know what I mean? So my loyalty and inflexibility there got in my way. So I'm just giving that example because I really do see a lot of these masculines are going to come in with something that you did not expect. You could have never guessed, even if you're super psychic like me. And you're not going to know what to do with it. It's going to maybe sound off the wall. But I think maybe saying yes, or like, yeah, I could do that. We could maybe make that work. Let me think about it. If you can say, let me think about it too, oh my God, that gets them so hot, because they're like, huh, I can't have her right away. Like, but yeah. Oh. You guys, this is nuts. So the block is the flexibility, but the divine advice for union, and I think this can be a block for a lot of people too, but the advice for union is get out of the orphaned stage, the victim, the lack, oh, I'm not good enough, I'm not pretty enough, he doesn't see my light, he doesn't see who I am, he likes that other girl with the big boobs better than me, you know what I mean? Get out of it. That energy alone is putting a dark cloud over you, which makes you not that attractive to him. So I think you are getting out of that. Oh, this is it. Okay, this is it. This is the cycle. Remember I said it earlier? The cycle that you need to release is the lack cycle. And not reaching out or not telling him about that sign because you're scared to call him because he doesn't really respond. Screw it. Just do what you feel. Express yourself. Get out of that. Get out of that orphan stage and just break the cycles of that orphan stage and that lack mentality, because it's the lack and the, oh, he's ghosting me and he doesn't like me and he doesn't love me. Forget that. It's more about him. It's not about you. He loves you. He's always loved you. Whether he could admit it. You know, mine, I think when he was dating the girl, he was so in that, her lower toxic energy and struggling with that and her cheating on him and stuff people were saying on Twitter, which meant they were just saying things at one point. God had me wake up at 4 a.m., which was like, you're such a, I can't even say it, but really nasty things about how if he had that baby, it was going to be a different race, you know? And basically it was like kind of obvious she was cheating on him. And she was putting him through all of this crap and probably saying, no, I love you. Give me some of that TV money, you know? And like, he was probably believing her and trusting her and probably thinking I was a weirdo for like, obviously not, I didn't talk smack about her to him. But when she came to a party where I was at, I didn't hang out with him at all. I stayed so far away from her because she's that toxic. And I was just trying to show him, nope, not going to happen. I think at one point he thought we'd all be friends and maybe he could have like a little harem, and hell to the no. Hell to no. Okay, so the big thing here is you guys want to regenerate and come into union. He needs to get out from between the worlds. And coronavirus needs to shift, or at least God needs to allow him to walk into the new life. So that's a divine timing thing. But the big thing is do not stay in this energy, this orphan energy, right? And we're going to cut that cycle. Okay. So if your cycle's been, you've been not expressing your true self, or you've been holding back because of pride and ego and stubbornness and feeling this way. And you're just like, I'm not going to reach out again because, you know, I keep reaching out. I shouldn't have to be the one to reach out. It doesn't matter. You're more advanced. You're the leader until he decides to take the lead. Okay. So be the leader. Stop your bitching. Any bitching, any like frustration or hate on him is going to push you guys further away instead of bring you together. I'm telling you that, and I'll tell you that over and over again, because there's so many people that are in that, like, in the same mentality and fixed ideas of, in a relationship, a guy should do this. Release all the shoulds, okay? A guy should be giving me gifts for my birthday, one of my clients. And I'm like, well, he didn't. Maybe he didn't want to show you at the time, like, how much he loved you because he's still dealing with the ex, the mother of his child, you know? But really it's because, you know, she was in a different state than him and he can't fully move forward and embrace the relationship with her. And so that's why he wasn't giving her gifts and doing all these things on her birthday. He was holding back. But he loves her. His soul loves her, right? But she was so demanding that, like, a man who's in a relationship with her should be doing these things, that her pride and her ego about those things that she wanted was getting in the way. And she basically gave up on him. She's dating another guy right now. And he, of course, you know, they broke up at least a year ago. He, of course, contacted her the other day because we're in coronavirus. And guess who you start thinking about when you're in a situation like this? Who you love. So she's been trying to convince me that he doesn't love her forever. And of course he just contacted her because he loves her, because I'm right. I'm always right. I mean, most of the time. I mean, yeah. Ooh, you guys. This is outcomes. To be fair, this is your justice card. It's your justice card. You're gonna get your justice. Balance, harmony. This sucker has been imbalanced for so long. You've been giving more than your divine masculine, or it could be the other way around. Typically, it's the divine feminine that awakens first and knows that this is a big deal, or at least wants to get to the bottom of it. She's not as obsessed with him. What did I make up the other day that I loved? It's not being like obsessed. Wait, hold on. It's like my divine masculine isn't an object of my affection as much as he's an object of my connection. He's my connection to signs and synchronicities and something that tells me that there's something much greater out there for me, and there's a divine plan and there's a divine mission, and that excites me more than anything else. Everything else feels like I'm indifferent, and I don't care. I don't care if you're hot, you got money, I don't care. But this divine connection is so strong that I literally need him to tell me it's never going to happen for me to move on. And he might not, but like, I've never fully told him. He knows. It's just, there's just been stuff in the way. He was in another country shooting a show. I mean, there's divine timing for this for a reason. And even as a younger kid, I didn't envision my wedding. And I always thought that like I would maybe get married when I was ready to have kids. And now that I'm in my early 40s, I'm now ready to have kids. Some people think you can't, but you absolutely can. A lot of women are having kids 44, 45, 46. So don't worry, women who are getting older. I need you to really release any expectation and numbers and those social constraints that they put on us in school. Oh yeah, your eggs go bad at 35. No, it starts dropping off a little bit, but you still have healthy eggs. Most people are having healthy kids, even 40s, 45. Is there more of a chance for Down syndrome and other things? Sure, but it's not that great. So relax. You need to relax because nothing's going to happen if you're in anxiety and stress. And your cortisol levels are high. So I need you to trust, like imprint trust and faith anywhere you can. But this, to be fair, he's going to come and make this thing balanced and make it equal. He knows that it hasn't been equal. So you're going to get your justice, and that makes me happy. Oh my goodness, you guys. Oh my God, I love elephants. Isn't he the cutest? This is your reminder, that's what elephants remind me of, that your life is as magical and abundant as the land of milk and honey, somewhere over and under the rainbow. Over the rainbow, we've got God looking down. God's got this, y'all. And this is your abundance. This is your reward. The land of milk and honey is right around the corner. Anytime you start to doubt, I need you to remember this elephant and remind yourself that the milk and honey is your fate. It is your destiny. It is your outcome. Okay? I was led to pull one more outcome card. Okay. Chop wood. So what this tells me is right now, you're going to be chopping wood. You're going to be focusing on your mission. You're going to be focusing on survival and cooking good food and posting your memes and doing your leadership stuff and talking to your girlfriends and just getting everything swept out and cleaned up. Spring cleaning. You need to prepare your home and your life for this man to walk through your door. If they pull the stay home situation, I get a feeling with some of you, he's going to say, you know what? I feel like this is a hoax or it's a little over. I mean, I'm not saying it is. That's another thing. I've deep dived into all the conspiracy on this like I have with everything else. And just so you know, I work with a high-end spy who said that 5G has nothing to do with coronavirus. I don't know about what's to come next, but he did say that it's not a naturally occurring phenomenon, that it was a virus that was leaked from the Wuhan lab. But the numbers are all messed up, you guys, and it might seem worse than it is. So, and I can go into that. If you want me to go into it, I'll shoot a whole video about what's going on with coronavirus, if that's what one of you comments. You know, I'll give you what you want, or just email me. Twin Flame Channeling, 2 N's, 1 L, I believe, at gmail.com. So, but chop wood, clean your house, create space for him. If you don't have space, get rid of stuff. One of my friends says her friend is selling stuff on eBay and Craigslist and OfferUp, and people are buying like crazy right now. Stuff that like she's selling stuff for more than stuff like a 50 CD changer. Like who needs that, right? But she's selling it for like more than she bought it for. So sell some stuff. Come up with a pile while you're stuck inside of stuff that you really don't need, that doesn't bring you joy, and get rid of it. Create space for new stuff with him. That way you don't have to do it when he comes in. But I think this is a big outcome. Like you're both going to be focusing on what you need to do to clear everything up so that when you come together, it can be like immediate justice. He's going to say, I love you. I want to be with you. Let's have kids now. Like today. Like, let's have sex now. Because he's into you. And you're going to have the land of milk and honey like so quickly. I need you to believe this. Like really, really believe. Okay? You guys are unicorns. You're not horses. You're not donkeys. You are unicorns. Okay? If you think of yourself as a donkey, I just want you to smack yourself. Not too hard. But guys, seriously, you are divine beings. I believe 144,000 in the Bible are the twin flame souls that are coming together, and it's fated. So have faith in this journey. Even if you feel like it's around and around, like I feel like with mine, where we come into contact, we have signs, and then it's like quiet. And then we come in and it's quiet, and it's coming and it's quiet. And I'm popping in and in and in. We need to be consistent and clear and direct with what we want. Okay? Make a list of what your ideal situation is, your ideal home. All right? And contact me. Like, subscribe. Please, please, please. People can't see your brand name if you're liking and subscribing. So please, please help me out so that I can get more views and hopefully get more people some of the advice that they need to come into union. Because the more of us come into union, the more of us are in union. Much love. Mwah!